Well, hello dudes and dudettes, and welcome to our Planets Through Ascendant series. And this week, we're going to be covering our beloved Sun in the 6th house in the sign of Capricorn for Leo Ascendant. And what happens when Sun is in the 6th house for a Leo Ascendant person. And obviously, this is not like sun through houses or sun through signs. As you know, this is like we're combining the two things together. Sun is in a particular sign, but also in a particular house. And it rules a certain house, which is your first house, your ascendant, Leo Ascendant. That's what this video is about. So that's how we're going to like mash these two energies together. And as always, if you do not know where your sun is placed, what sign it's in, what house it's in, all the other planetary placements, for that check out the links here. Check out my full astrological report, including my books, Astrology, Conjunction, and Aspects of the Speed of Light, including all my consultations at this link. So, Sun in the 6th house for Leo Ascendant. And Sun, as you know, rules the ascendant for you guys, meaning that you guys are naturally attracted towards leadership position, naturally attracted towards expressing yourself dynamically, creatively, creative self-expression. There's this natural attraction towards conquering the throne, the political throne. There's this natural ambience about you where you have this really stocky, broad body, and you use that body to attain power. And Leo Ascendant people are always somehow focusing either on education, children, or creative self-expression. Three things that are really, really at the forefront of their life. Why? Because remember, Leo is the 5th zodiac sign of the zodiac belt. That means it's the 5th house. So it'll always have the energy of the 5th house. But now, because it's in the ascendant, it becomes your actual focus. Then, Sun is sitting in the 6th house. 6th house in Vedic Astrology is known as like a Dhisthana house. It's a house of obstacles, enemies, debts, illnesses, diseases, social welfare, social reform, non-profit organizations, small animals, many things, litigation, disputes. I mean, truckload of, I can keep going for the next 2 minutes and it won't be enough. But you got to understand this. In this house, malefic planets do very well. Because 6th house is not only known as a negative house, but it's also known as a growing house, meaning Upachya house. Any planet in this house will grow better with time. So usually when you see malefic in the 6th house shows, those athletes who come out of poverty, come out of, the projects, and they're like your favorite athletes making $200 million in their career. That's the kind of production this thing gets, because when they face enemies, obstacles, war zones when they're growing up, it makes something within them to grow as a person. And so a person who, let's say, for example, Allen Iverson in NBA, one of the former NBA players who I hate him for doing a crossover on Michael Jordan and actually making the shot, but he grew up in extremely violent environment. And because of that environment, because of that toughness he got, he actually made more money than some of you Google employee will make in your lifetime. He made money, he made fame and name and legacy more than somebody who might get a PhD from Harvard. Why? Because most people they grow up in this soft environment. When you grow up in the hard environment of the 6th house, you really realize the world at a very young age, which is very, very much necessary. So here now, in this house, you have a hot planet, Sun. Sun is a really big, hot planet. This is why wherever it sits, it's going to burn the significance of that house. So in the 6th house is a perfect placement for Sun to be in, because it burns your enemies. Enemy will not be able to come after you and defeat you. It burns your debts. Also burns your illnesses. Sure, it may give some illnesses or diseases, but mostly it'll burn it. It'll purify it. See, wherever sun sits, you gotta understand, it's purifying that house. Why? Because when something's burnt, what happens? It becomes pure. Because when we die, especially in our culture, in Hindu culture, they cremate us. Why? Because we become pure as a soul, and after burning, we completely transforming into something different, which is ashes, which goes in the ground, and then the trees or plants will grow up on it. But now sun is also in the sign of Capricorn. Capricorn is what? Business, corporate, government, society, authority. So now what you do, you combine that. See, Capricorn is that original 10th house energy sitting in the 6th house. And 6th house is also service. So sun being here in the 6th house in Capricorn will show, and sun actually shows it's a part of your self-esteem, your ego, your confidence, vitality, energy. And it's a pretty complex how ego and confidence and personality works. It's a part of your ascendant, your moon sign, your sun, 3rd house, 5th house. So it's a combination of that. This is why we always say it's a part of your ego. It's not fully your ego, it's part of it. So here we see that one's life focus. See, if you want to see life focus, look where the ascendant lord is placed. That's where you will always concentrate on. So sun here being in the 6th house shows your personality, your ego, your self-esteem developed through your father showing you the reality of the world. Through your father's teachings, you develop your personality. Through wanting to serve the government, through wanting to serve other people, your personality, your confidence developed. You always wanted to give yourself to other people. You wanted to strive for success in government field. This is actually, I think I would say I would have seen 4 people who either made it to an IAS officer or striving to be an IAS officer with sun in the 6th house in Capricorn, because 6th house is service. What is IAS? It's government service. And so sun here shows one will be very competitive, will defeat everybody in competitive exam, and will be serving the authority with authority. And most definitely, if the 9th lord in this house, which is Jupiter, is either sitting in the 9th house, 10th house as aspects your sun, most definitely your father must have been in government or worked for the government or works in the government. And he benefited from the government. This also shows that one has the ability to become a great CEO, CFO, corporate, like a corporate giant, somebody who is very much in executive position in their work. And sun here shows that your focus, no matter if you're not in government or in government, will always be towards social welfare, social reform, always wanting to take part in political parties, political issues. Simply, the most simplest way we can say is that this person finds their confidence through service. That's it. Through public service, through private service, that is where you develop yourself. And you will always be developing yourself through that. Okay. So guys, this was my analysis of sun in the 6th house in the sign of Capricorn. If you're new to my channel, subscribe below. Again, if you want to know where your sun is placed and all the other planetary placements, all my books, consultations, for that, check out the links here. Otherwise, we'll see you tomorrow with some unique special video again. Bye-bye.